Greetings, Canadians, and welcome to the first episode, or at least my attempt at one, a podcast of sorts. And before anyone brings it up, yes, those are typically done live, but due to the timing and decisions made prior to my starting of this idea, we just make do what we have. But regardless, that should not take away from my ultimate goal for this video and or series, and that is going over key points on Maplestory, including, but not limited to, topics such as the end of the event reviews, as you can tell from the title of this video. But before we get into the submissions of the survey that I posted on my socials and Discord, I would like to bring that up for the future videos. For future patches and events, I will be looking to do more surveys to gather public opinion, perspectives, and whatever of the same nature to crowdsource points of interest on each event. My hopes for this series is to try and get more and more people to voice their opinions and thoughts on how Nexon did well, or, more importantly, how they can stop making the same mistakes and better themselves. That way, we as the players, or more accurately, the customers, can better enjoy the game as a whole. They improve, we get a better game, both sides win. Unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, due to my ill timings on finally deciding to go through with this video idea, I only managed to gather 8 surveys worth of submissions, but that shouldn't, nor do I think it will, diminish the goal that I have for this video that I'm hoping it will achieve. Furthermore, as I hope to make this a continued effort, if there are any members of the community who wish to take part in the future survey submissions, please remember to follow me on my Twitter, Twitch, or my YouTube live account to be made aware when I actually post the surveys, and to any other Maplestory content creators who wish to join in on future projects for future episodes of this podcast, mini-so, critique series, or whatever you may want to call this, please feel free to let me know, because hopefully with more voices, the higher the chance of Nexon seeing, and more importantly, listening and hearing our complaints, to potentially make the needed changes and efforts to improve on future patches and events. And to get to the first point, this is just a little bit of the submissions from the survey. Alright, now that we have the intro out the way, we have the actual survey. As I mentioned, only 8 submissions, which is plenty. I can't really complain about this, due to the fact that I'm actually very bad at timing and organizing stuff like this. But, yeah, obviously, I need to better situate this, but thankfully no information is shared, no information such as email or IGNs are collected. Remember, this is hosted by me, not by Nexon, so they will not see any of this unless you explicitly say so. But thankfully, since everyone said yes, I will be showcasing most of this. In the future, if there are people who actually say no, I'm just going to cut them off and just actually highlight the specific ones in post in the actual video on an actual specific document rather than the actual raw submissions section of the actual survey. To get us started, we have the mini games portion for Victoria Soccer. What are some things you either liked or disliked about this mini game? Are there anything you wish Nexon did differently or handled differently for this event? I'm kind of doing this out of order, but before I actually go through and actually talk about these points, I would like to first and foremost say that I am acknowledging that this anniversary event is a 1-year-old event from GMS that we got finally due to the anniversary timings of when we get them. So I understand that some things are outdated, some things get backtracked, quality of life mechanics and systems that are built into future events that predated or came before it. No, after it, we got those before the actual anniversary event. I understand that. But there are still so many problems that they should have foresaw. The fact that we're a global region-based game versus what Korea is, Japan is, China, Taiwan. Note to self, future episodes, close the window. Loud people outside. But yeah. So I understand that some points are not going to be too applicable due to the nature of how these events are and why some things are outdated, some things are being problematic here and there. But nonetheless, complaints are complaints, critiquing is critiquing. This is going to be a review video to hopefully get Nexon to change things and actually better the future ones, because so many of these same problems have been happening even in the newer events that came after this anniversary event that GMS got last year. So nonetheless, let's get into the first minigame. Let's see, one of the submissions is, out of all the minigames out of this event, this was the one I liked the most. Saying that the desync was crazy, I would get stunned by the goal when I got hit halfway. Yeah, you got people telepathically hitting you from like a good maybe 4 or 5 characters lengths. That is a problem. I'm hoping that Nexon sees this portion and actually understands that since we are a global region-based game, everyone's located whichever and wherever, they should have made either changes that could actually combat this, lower the player count to minimize that problem, or, better yet, introduce an additional set of minigames, one solo, one party, I feel like that might help in the long run if you actually make too many solos. People are going to see that, oh, I can get that done faster potentially. That might cause a problem, but once again, this is just an overview of how I feel. I'm not too into game design. I don't know much about this. I'm just here to go over things, what people say, and what I feel personally as well. Let's see. The second submission is, game was too laggy for GMS. Either I lose the ball or somehow got stunned from a distance. I know it's a ping issue, but having long distance ping issue is a pain. That is true. That is a common complaint that we've been having. Hated every event. Hated the PvP even more. Alright. Not going to really go over that one. It was the fun in concept, but the servers were laggy and the mechanics were clunky and unresponsive. Yep, I can see that one. Especially when you get stuck on the soccer pole goal posts. You would just get stuck in there. You couldn't even move. You had to, like, backtrack the exact direction you came into in order to get out of. So they should have tested that before they actually launched it. Let's see. I actually like soccer, but with no real explanation of what the skills did, I never used some more than dash, shoot, and whatever E was. Felt overly done. Yeah, that was a problem. Although I'm willing to bet the NPC itself actually explained some of this, but that's another problem. The patch notes were overly, disgustingly poor quality. For the past, 4 or 5 patches, every single patch notes was either inaccurate, missing information, poorly organized, somebody formatted it really weird, to the point where it was, like, just incomprehensible unless you had, like, a bunch of people staring at it going, like, wait. That's what they meant. Yeah, patch notes should be clear and simple. Not overly complex, making people, like, have to, like, look at it as if it's a rare specimen and actually trying to decipher what the hell's going on. They need to sincerely look over that kind of stuff and have someone who actually works on the patch notes actually do a better job. Because it's been nearly a year plus, and you've been putting out so many patch notes that are just overly, well, to put it lightly, trash. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, we got some paragraphs here. The unwieldiness of the controls, how ridiculous the delay between input and actual action was. Yeah, that was a problem. It showed in getting stunned. It showed in getting stunned when the nearest enemy is halfway across the map and did not touch you on your screen. The clunkiness making it impossible to enjoy the game. Yep, ping problems are a thing, but once again, GMS Nexon had over a year to think about this. Once again, we're a global region-based game. They should have anticipated this. And the desync meant that you can attempt to tackle people and miss, and also make it seem like you got successfully tackled by players on the end of your screen. Having to do up to 3 games if you lost could be incredibly frustrating, as well as not many people were good, and even still you're a hostage to the rest of your team's willingness to actually try. People were happy for it to be originally go away for a reason. Something I liked was getting a win and never having to do it the rest of the day. Yeah, that was a problem as well. I think this is the only game where you had to do 3 attempts if you lost all of the attempts, while the others only needed 2. What was the point? Like, what was the actual point? I don't think I can say anything else besides that was a really stupid design. You could have easily changed that in post before you actually released it. Other than that, it was pretty alright, as it was pretty fast to get over with. Quite annoying for it being ping reliant. Ping reliant is a consistent problem. Once again, global region-based game. As it was getting tackled from people not even close to me, but a fast run, easy check and done. Yeah, there was that. But also, I like to backtrack and go back to here and saying, where is it? Yeah, seemed like you got successfully tagged by players and tackle people that you missed. Yeah, you got people tackling you, like, really far away, and even when I tackle somebody and I see other people tackle people and we, like, go past them, like, we go through them, either it's a ping problem or it's a hitbox problem. Either way, I'm, like, 80% certain it's a ping-related issue, but Nexon, you guys gotta fix this problem. A lot of minigames been having that kind of stuff. Let's see, the minigame for boat racing. Oh boy. Same inquiries that I put out for everybody for all 3 minigames, so I'm not gonna bother covering that. So, worst one for me by far. The lag was crazy. Every time someone hit a wall, it was stuttered the game like crazy. Was that the reason? I thought it was just our own internet having a little bit of a spike for momentarily moment. But yeah. The lag was very inconsistent. Some people can easily time the turns either undercompensating or overcompensating it due to the fact that if your lag was consistent enough, you can actually anticipate if you were good at these type of games. I was only able to do this sometimes, but sometimes it'll go up, sometimes it'll go down. It was... Hell, I found driving against the wall was actually easier sometimes, which I don't think you should be doing in a racing game. It was fine till you get West Coast people who would just zoom by everything because freaking ping issue would make it nearly impossible for the East Coast people to beat unless West Coast people suck ass. Ping problem once again. I'm not gonna keep repeating like the same fixes because I'm just gonna be hammering a dead horse. Yeah, I'm gonna keep hammering the fucking nail of a head of the same issue over and over when we've gone over it. Game was okay in my opinion. The turning and getting stuck on one specific location while turning was annoying. Definitely. Yeah, for some reason, the turnpikes portion of the actual racing courses, they had individual jagged hitboxes. I feel like a way they could have compensated for that one was just letting us slide against the walls. Obviously not like 100% no friction, just like enough to where we don't get like stuck. And what else we got? The 8-player day one was fun and not laggy, but after four laggy player lobbies were hard to play in. Really? You know, it wouldn't be the first time Nexon did something to fix it and then it broke it. Remember when Nexon actually fixed, you know, Epic Mountain, where some people didn't have the lag, and when they fixed it, it gave the people who didn't have lag, and the people who had lag, well, either you didn't get it afterwards or you still got it. And to my knowledge, it still hasn't been fixed. Good job, Nexon. And if anyone can't tell, I'm being sarcastic. That is blatantly stupid. Let's see. Both race, best race. The screen generating awfulness was not. Only among my eyes when minigame gave me headaches. Wouldn't blame you. I didn't think it was possible for a minigame to be worse than the soccer one, but here we are. Same delay problems, but even harder to navigate somehow. It was made worse by the controls not being intuitive, particularly when pressing the same direction button after bumping into a wall made you move the opposite direction. Why would you do that? Oh, no. That... Okay, whoever submitted this one is not that. That one is just I'm gonna call it the befuddled effect. Yeah, thinking you're pressing left to go left or pressing right to go right. When you're doing things in reverse, your brain just like flips it over and is weird. It's like trying to do Black Mage P4 and you're thinking like, if you're like, I'm on my Bowmaster or my Kana or my Shade where I'm trying to play White Aura to get Black Curse for final damage, and when FA happens, I forget to switch because I'm like, changing one thing makes my brain do like, ugh. So yeah, I think I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think that was the case. But yeah, I agree with you to the point about the minigame became worse and worse. For God's sakes, Nexon, you had a kart rider game. You could have... I don't know how you messed this up. I don't know how you messed up the racing game. You had a designated game for this. Input delay makes it inconsistent and feel terrible. The changes helped, and their quick response was very good. I will not argue that. The boat race had a fix way faster than the other minigame, Legend Returns. I'm glad they won't. I'm glad they did something. By the end, with 4 people for 2 laps, it was fast, and input delay wasn't as bad, making the best minigame of the bunch. I would have to also kind of agree. If they just made it like any other racing game controls without the input delay, it would have been a 10 out of 10. Without the input delay, that wasn't intentional. I'm just pretty sure that Nexon was just too lazy or incapable of actually doing the needed fixes and tests to actually make this work, as they have been in the past. Let's see. My final submission for this one is another ping relying minigame where you think you click the turn right, only to figure out that you actually help turn right to make a full circle. Started with 3 laps, they made it 2 laps a few days later, and definitely helped. Indeed it did. Can prop count all the amounts of finished races I did on one hand. Overall, please, no more ping reliant minigames. 100%. No more of that garbage. But unfortunately, ping is always going to be an inherent issue. It's just how it goes when you're playing a global game. But hopefully they come up with a way to fix it. You're a couple million, $100 million company, if not billion-dollar company for quarterly. Surely you can actually just, you know, maybe outsource this problem and have someone fix it for you. Because having this problem consistently, patch after patch after patch for every single event, it's actually just kind of sad. And for the minigames, The Legends Return. This is the most recent one, I guess. So I don't have much to say except for the fact that the first day I had to try for around an hour to get into a match. You had literally people standing on the NPC, holding down NPC interact in hopes of glitching through the glitched prompt to actually get through. Someone pretest so this doesn't happen, thank you. Yeah, especially the problem of it not releasing at the 0th hour on reset. I don't know how you screw that up. Like, you need to hire a QC department for this one. Hell, hire me. When I was in the military, I literally had to QC repairs. I can probably do this. Making the rewards be win was such a pain in the ass. I spent, what was it, 6 hours last night on Wednesday when I was on live stream on my Twitch channel. I literally lost 8 times in a row. Over and over and over. Such as someone from Scania rage quitted and he just stood there. And yeah. It definitely should have been made game attempts. It should have been attempts. Because I lost 8 times in a row. I'm not saying it wasn't my fault. Maybe at least 3 out of the 8 was my fault, but that was besides the point. Yeah. Actually, should have been made games played since there were a lot of shitty people who were A, doing it for dailies, B, just didn't know how to do stuff. Yeah, specifically on the point of B for this person's submission. I'm not gonna lie. If you grew up with these kind of games, you know how to play them, or if you have enough game sense to adapt to these kind of games, it's really dependent on how you are like this one. So I believe since the nature of ranked is just how it is, but because of that, I highly recommend Nexon that next time you just make it by plays. Hell, if you want to prevent people from just like bum rushing all of these attempts, failing it and whatnot, make a report system that actually, you know, is reportable to an accurate T, because if not, you're gonna have a problem. Or increase the amount of plays. Increase 40, make it 50. Heck, do that. Because I think at that point it's going to be equivalent, because I'm pretty sure I'm about to hit 50, 60 plays in order to get the 30 wins I need for that stupid damn chair. I just want that chair. And the hat, but that's, I don't really, yeah. And such a pain in the ass to get those wins, but overall fun game. Yeah, it's frustrating, it's fun, but being at the mercy of your teammates, not knowing how to play the game and causing you to lose over and over. At the very least, it should be either total amount of plays, total amount of wins at a lower amount, or, heck, make it about how many kills, because you got some people going for kills. I think I had one person who had 19 kills. And obviously they weren't on my team. That guy kicked our butts. You won like crazy. Like the rewards, but dislike the rest. It is too long, and getting into minigame was a huge pain. That's for like the first couple of days. Yeah, didn't it take like 4 days? That was pathetic. What's worse is that you have to win 20 times to get the specific rewards. This event could have been improved if they changed and decreased the duration, and they changed the wins to participation 20 times for the rewards. That too. You got some people who are able to load in, like I'm able to load in really fast, and I can instant lock a character I want over. I don't think I've ever lost a character selection anytime I played a game. Like if I wanted one, I go for it. I only ever. Yeah, I've had like a couple people say like, how the hell did I load him before they did? I don't know, but yeah. They should have definitely changed that. Including the duration time. My god, I think it lasted like, what? It's like, what, 8 minutes for the entire thing? Not even including the load in, the load out, the entry. When the freaking queue up time says, oh, we'll get you in 30 seconds. 30 seconds go by, counts down for 5, countdowns for another 5. It stays at 0 for nearly... I think my record was it staying at 0 on the load in portion for like 20 to 25 seconds. That was... You gotta fix that. Yeah. And you need to stop making it a tradition to fix like small problems in an event by not fixing them, just waiting for the event to end. That's really stupid. You need to stop doing that next time. Let's see. Interesting in concept and practice. It felt meaningless to be able to be in the lead because some people just run in head first in the final fight and to lose the whole match. The laggy lobbies and matches did not help. Yeah, this one I feel like is not their fault, mostly because you got people who don't know how to play this type of game styles, never grew up with it, doesn't have enough game sense to understand these kind of things, don't have enough like common sense when it comes to things. You don't just like beeline the entire team while your other team members are staying back to wait for your opponents to go into an opportune spot. that one I won't blame Nexon. That one I can't blame Nexon. Some people just don't know how to play this kind of playstyle. Let's see. Haven't tried it yet, but I heard about the inability to play on day one. Common complaint. And thankfully better than the first two games. Someone said that one. I'm guessing the clunkiness of the controls is part of it and can't be helped. The one thing I wish and could be improved is allowing rematching without penalty, or for participation to count even if your teammates throw, because it is hell and a waste of time afterwards. Yeah, that's a problem too. That's a problem too. Almost impossible to get into for the first couple of days. Balance is awful and takes a long time. So losing and having to do it again feels like a big waste. Should have been one game win or lose, or shortened duration like soccer if wanted win or lose a matter for check-in. I would agree on this point, but I would only say I would only say shorten the duration will fix it probably. Having it be 2 losses at the minimum, I feel is fair. That part I feel is fair. But 8 minutes for the fight alone, not including the load up. The load up like slowness adds up to like 10 minutes each. That one is inherently a problem. That one is stupid. Especially when everything else you needed to get done, dailies, bosses, etc., etc. There's a lot of stuff you need to get done. This just takes up too much time at that point. Let's see. Also, long, tedious, too many characters, controls, and you cannot switch. No, thank you. Just get me in my daily check and get out. Who presses control to attack? Oh yeah, this is a problem that I'm feeling on that one. About the other part is like that feels personal complaints. That's valid, but this part, who presses control to attack in 2025? Not specifically that. Team jump on spacebar, yeah, but yeah, 100%. You should have let us have the ability to change the keybinds. I use control for pickup. I use alt for basic attack. I use Z for my primary mobbing skills. I use space for the jump. You know how many times on the first like 6 games before I got used to it, I still messed up? How many times I tried to jump in a panicked situation and I press the spacebar and I accidentally waste my alt and then I don't have the alt for the final fight? That is terrible design. Why do you have previous events where you could change the key bindings, but the new one, this one's old by a year for us in GMS versus KMS, but you should have had the forethought to at least include it. You really need to stop being lazy. Like, how hard, and this is just me being ignorant, I don't know anything about coding, programming, whatnot, but how hard would it have been to just go into it before it launched in GMS to just, include the ability to change the hotkey? How hard would it have been? And does not be just me whining and right now. Well, besides I actually am whining, but honestly, me asking, how hard would that have been? How hard would it have been? Well, now we're actually past the minigame portion. What do you think Nexon handled well during this pageant event? Let's look at the positives, what people think. I feel they at least attempted to fix the lag as much as they could. I will not argue that. Soccer, I don't think, wait, did they even do anything for soccer? Pretty sure they didn't. The boating one, cutting the participations in half, removing half the ping problem from the entire team, making it 2 laps to try and account for it even further. I will applaud you, Nexon. That was very good. That was very good. That was actually a very good thing you did. But then there was the problem of the Legends Return. You took 3-4 days to get that thing done, and it wasn't the weekend. Yeah, that one was pathetic, but I can at least agree that this one of the 3 fixes that they did was good. It was a standard of your run-of-the-mill event. I think them handling the previews for this event and next event was so much better. Oh, and also Punch King Legion was nice for everyone. At least everyone had a chance to hit 2050. Yep. Oh, by the way, it actually goes over 2050. You can actually check that on the Wacky Beans Everything EXP portion of their website. Okay. No, don't worry, guys. I'm going to include this in the videos as a learning experience. Next time, I will close the window for the future episodes, but it is 87 degrees in my room, and I have the fan on. Kill me. In Minecraft. YouTube, don't demonetize me. But yeah. And we just got a big no for this one. Someone just says no. Okay. Not much. The rewards were good. Yeah, okay. Boy, Okay, if you guys see a cut in the video feed after this point, that's just me removing that one because you got some delivery guy blocking the road. Yeah, welcome to New York, baby. Let's see. I enjoyed the pace in completing minigames. The rewards were great, and I think proper care was taken, allowing players to get all the cosmetics from the minigames without doing them, so you never feel forced into content you really don't want to do. Okay, are we talking about the minigame win completions, or are we talking about the badge shop? That one, the badge shop, I will agree. That had plenty of variety and a lot of currency to buy that stuff with. Didn't someone, yeah, someone on Reddit literally posted a screenshot of nearly their entire account on one server, all dressed up in the JM from the street, like hoodie, backpack outfit. If you can outfit 40 plus characters, yeah, if anyone didn't have enough, that's your budgeting probably. Yeah, I will agree, that was very good. I like the cosmetics. Free cosmetics? Hell yeah. Let's see. They were fast to address issues to the boat racing, making the best minigame of the three. The non-minigame events worked very well, and hello? I think someone forgot to include the rest of this thing, but okay. Tried to help people get their daily check-ins faster, aka reducing the lap amount in a boat race. 100%. Making it less minigames to cap points in soccer event, kinda... Wait, making it less minigames to cap points in soccer event? I don't think that was correct, but okay. Kinda helped people actually be able to get into Legends of Return minigames. Yeah, this one I will agree, but it still kinda sucked, mostly because... Like, damn. 4 days, 3 to 4 days to get that thing fixed. And the fix was to increase the amount of instances. We are literally global Maplestory. Don't we have a higher population base than all the other regions? They should have anticipated the fact that we have too many people playing this game. Remove the instances for Princess No, please. There's no reason for her to have that. But that's besides the point. Alright, to the next submission point. What do you think Nexon did handle poorly during this patch and event? Once they realized that their fixes weren't good enough, they should have just made the rewards easier to achieve. Yeah, they could have done that. They could have done that to a certain extent without making it, like, stupidly free. Implementing the minigames, okay, that's just a personal complaint. Game bugs took too long to resolve, so people lost days for the check-in. Yeah, I actually heard that a couple of people lost 2 to 3 days of check-ins because they just straight up didn't care to try anymore. I will not blame them. I think my longest attempt was like 15 to 25 minutes of me just holding down the NPC chat button to try and get in to lose. Yeah, that one took too long. Soccer, The boating one, I'll give them credit. That one was good. Their fix was pretty good. Let's see, a lot of minigames were so lagged to the point that boredom and minigames were lackluster in my opinion. That last bit's in personal opinion, but the lag was a consistent problem. They need to learn from this. It's been happening for too many events back to back. Let's see, the usual lack of details in certain points on patch notes. Example given, shop closing times being the same as the UIs or different. Yeah, that was a problem. Lost currency due to not buying out the shop on the event because they seemed like they might carry over to the next period. Yeah, that was just straight up not included in the part of the event. Specifically the long distance sports drink portion of the event. It wasn't in there. There was no detail about, hey, this block is its own. The other block is its other own. After I reread it, it was implied to a certain extent, but it was so apparent, like, it was too vague, if at all lacking of information. That was stupid. The person in charge of the patch was, if you're actually watching this, I'm not trying to give you actual, like, shit, but you need to do a better job. You need to hire an assistant who actually QCs your work. Let's see. And the next part, the usual thing, little things, the method of certain seem to be a feature of Nexon's work. Every patch, something not working. Yeah, that's kind of their trademark at this point. Like, the legend returns for the first day, and then it being impossible to even get into a match for a few days. Especially the fact that it actually didn't open on the 0 minute, like I mentioned before. But yeah, seriously though, it always seems that there's always an issue. And this is not for this specific patch to my knowledge, but previous instances of other events, Maple Sea, KMS, them getting the events before us, KMS especially, and there are so many bugs that come over from other regions. The lack of care from GMS Nexon to just copy and paste everything is just lazy and pathetic. Like, I'm not trying to give Nexon, like, shit, but I'll give it what it's deserved. Stop copy and pasting everything. You copy and pasted bugs. The Maplestory Bullrog light bulb above the head. How did this pass the quality assurance department? Do you have one? Like, how did no one, after consistent repeats of the same problem from other regions, not become a checkbox on your QC list? Specifically, just like, and simply, make sure we didn't copy and paste bugs from other region and or features that are not coming to this server or region. Because we weren't supposed to get the Bullrog thing, apparently. And yet we did. And now it's stuck above people's heads. I swear to God, if that light bulb is not gone after the patch, I'm gonna lose it. I have like 4 characters with the light bulb. And I get confused. Yeah, it's annoying. Let's see, what after that? How the swap over for long distance run was a lot of confusion, the delay in fixing the Legends Return minigame. Yes to this, and same, so another person complaining about that same exact problem for the long distance one. That was, I lost like 2,500 energy. Let's see, what else? The whole idea of minigames is definitely nice, but they forgot that we are not playing games next to each other, and ping is a massive issue for a lot of people. Hopefully, less of those types of minigames. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Let's see. But, sure, Nexon included, but at the very least, try and make some of the fixes needed to combat these problems. You're practically $1 billion something company. You guys have to be able to just pay somebody to do. Hire somebody else. You can pay someone to animate for you from outside of the company. We've seen it before. We've seen you do it. Just hire an additional team. I know Inkwell and all that, all of them live in the higher fucking command chain. They're hiring a Go West specific team, but can you at least hire an additional team for bug fixes, QC, patch notes writing, to like just combat these problems? We've been having them over and over and over. It's just getting really annoying. Let's see. If you have something else that you'd like to include that doesn't have a category above, please write it here. More mag and transcendent. Okay, they're gonna do that eventually, but I feel like that's a non-factor. Just implement games that don't require ping issues. Yeah, having a side option of doing solo games that require more participation for like performance would be a nice option. Make it take as many times as it would for like the losses from the actual the team ones, just so they're not like 100% people going to the solo ones. Find a balance, test it out, look at other games. Let's see, Mooshwan level events are weird. Give us the, yeah, why was the cape removed? Where are the dev notes? Yeah, why, seriously, what happened to the dev notes? Like, you guys need to bring that back, especially this. Why was the cape removed? Okay, I would be less upset about them removing the cape if they just gave us a reason. Like, any reason. Oh, it's a copyright problem. We couldn't get the rights from the other specific region company. It's ugly. Something. Let's see. Please just add more servers and add a channel change to the minigames. It'll be so much better. Ooh, would that fix it? I actually kind of like that idea. What if we had the Commercy style channel instances? That might work. And, why the fuck did the Cape NX from Mushwan not get ported? That makes no sense. Yes, at least tell us why. Where is the transparency and communication that you were attempting to do from the past? I remember you blatantly saying that we would like to work on our transparency and communication. Pretty sure that's a lie. Or have you forgotten? Let's see. It's an anniversary event without a unit damage skin and cosmetic shop to buy on all your mules every single anniversary. Oh, I didn't even notice that. And that's a personal complaint, but I definitely feel like a lot of people are going to side with this person who submitted this. Having the option would be nice. Having the option would be nice. Let's see. Nexon knows this for sure, but GMS is not just USA player base. We have players log in from a lot of places. Yeah, you got people from Australia. I think you get some people from Israel, Europe sometimes. Yeah, you got a lot of places. Let's see. We have players looking at a lot of places. Please understand this and don't do ping mini games. Kind of repeating myself at this point. Yeah, don't worry. We all understand that. But we're not saying don't have it, but at the very least, find a middle ground with either a team one or a solo one, or at the very least, putting the funds and resources needed to actually fix this problem. It's been a repeat problem. You gotta fix it. Let's see what else. Other than the event portion of this patch, version 259, was there any other portions you would like to leave feedback on for this patch? Example, Mushwan, Ride or Die, Hit the Road, Goodbye Victoria Cup, etc., etc. Let's see. Mushwan should have had better rewards, and it's 2025. Please, for the love of God, let new characters hyperburn come with a hyper. Honestly, I'm trying to. I want to say I agree with this person mostly because I can't see an actual problem. I don't see a pro nor a con on the company's side to saying no to this. I don't know. What do you guys think? I honestly don't have a solid opinion because I don't have a good enough pros cons versus this. The pros is we get it. The cons is I don't have a con, so that's why I'm confused about this one. Let's see. Give Mushwan our new future job at least a hyperburn. Okay, same thing again. Give us the Mushwan NX cape. Yeah. Do not bring back Ride or Die. Yeah, bring back Ride or Die only if it's not buggy as hell. No, it's gonna be buggy, let's be honest. Yeah, give us the cape. Like, where is the cape? Let's see. God the Balrog challenge bug. Please fix it the bad. I have a perpetual quest above my shade and Mushwan's head and I can't get rid of it. Yeah, how did you like, if someone who knows coding and programming could actually explain this to me and as well as everyone else, how did you removing something keep it permanently there? I don't know how that works. Let's see, not my own opinion, just something I heard from others. The nonsensical placement of rewards for Mushwan, like arcane symbols after they're needed. Yeah, that. Just in general, can Nexon please pay more attention to details or hire those who do? It just shows a thoughtlessness and lack of care, which has always been my biggest problem with them. I will not argue with that. That is 100% true. Didn't we get 4 out of 6 of the arcane symbols for Mushwan? Why? How? The heck was the point? That's just dumb. Like, once again, put a dev note. Give us a reason. Give us an actual reason to just go over and read it like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that doesn't make sense. We're just sitting on our hands going like, I don't know why they did this. Because it just looks blatantly stupid on the company itself for not, giving us XYZ reason on why they did something. Just give us a reason. I don't even care if it's stupid anymore. It's better than us just thinking it's stupid than us just having a definitive, that's their reasoning. You gotta give us something. Communication. Like, come on. Let's see. Mushwan missing cosmetic hasn't been addressed as far as I know. Yep. Mushwan burning experience tickets were definitely a last-minute addition after the community's negative reaction. Ride or Die nose being only 1 week is disappointing. Okay, that one I agree with Nexon in the sense, because let's be honest, those things are overpowered. Well, minus the IED one, because I don't think anyone actually needs IED, especially when you have so many sources of IED from Artifact, Hyper, Familiars, especially the Familiars now, and a whole bunch of other stuff that are being added. The Legion Champion. Yeah, we don't need IED anymore, but the good ones, the Drop Rate, the Meso, maybe the EXP, and the boss damage one, the 4 out of 5 of those, yeah, having those be permanent and or extendable, making them legacy for people who already did the events, it seems like a bad idea in the long term. As much as I would love to have it be a permanent thing, I'm on Nexon's side for this one. Let's see. Mushwan is a blessing, more crit damage, love it. As always, so nice to have, but unsure how to feel about Ride or Die. As for me, the patch was the start of GMS Go West portion, and it flopped at start. Yeah, it did. Lots of bugs and whatnot. Hopefully part 2 is better. Hit the Road is a nice way to feel, kind of way to help people grind more, I guess. Always welcome towards people like me and are still actively pushing their main character to a higher level. Goodbye Victoria Island is also nice to kind of help people buy out the items they need for some stores. Yep, always nice. And feel free to submit any screenshots, videos, or etc. that you'd like to include in the video, depending on what's covered. Some submission will not be used. I don't know why I read the entire thing. And no one responded. Let's see. Think this survey form is missing something? Oh, this is mostly for me. Wait. Who wrote this? Huh? Alright, now that we're actually done with the survey, here's going to be some stuff that I've saved throughout the actual entire event, just so I can have some of a recap for myself. Obviously, as you can tell from the start date, I'm the 29th, so I didn't actually have a lot of time before starting from point A to point B of me making the decision to actually make this, but I'm going to do it now. Once again, I'm hoping for the second episode and for the future end-of-event reviews and other such sessions like this, I learn from these and I improve on them. If anyone actually has any ideas on how I can improve, feel free to let me know. I don't mind any and all feedback. The better I can do, the better I can do. Alright, first and foremost, let's see. After the maintenance on the 29th, oh, the mini game is still bugged. Yeah, you better believe it's bugged. Yeah, after the patch, it was still bugged. Go figure. And let's see. Nexon just sneakily adding cash shop transfer event and to last from June 4th to 11th. There's block SIA. I will not argue. As a company's basis, profit is profit. Profit is your primary objective, and the most part, you got some companies going to be doing profit and customer satisfaction together in one thing. You know, I'm not going to say what Nexon does or what doesn't, but what their goal is, but my complaint isn't the profits portion. You're a company, make money, you got to keep the lights on, you got to keep the servers running, you got a lot of free-to-play players who don't spend money, got to get that shit covered. 100% agree with that one. But my problem with this part is the fact that Nexon just sneakily added the cash-up transfer into the patch notes without blatantly telling us that. I didn't know it was added until, like, I think the 30th? Actually, on the 29th, yeah. It was updated on the patch notes on the 28th. I was lucky. It took me 1 day to spot this because I constantly go back and forth on the patch notes to review stuff, make sure information is correct for my future videos and whatnot. This is stupid. You should have made a separate post. What I find amazing is the fact that there was so many people who went like, oh wait, they announced it? And guess when they said that to me? Like 3 or 4 days before this showed up. So they were like a day or two late compared to me. That was dumb. That just seems like they're like, oh shit, we forgot about this. Let me just like slide it on in. No, do better. Just, who cares if your front page looks messy? Just add the details. If it looks like Maple Sea, to those from Maple Sea actually knows what I'm talking about, you guys have, for some reason, your patch notes is like broken up into segment on each individual post rather than an individual singular post on your site. You should have just done that, GMS. You should have just done, this was stupid. Also, if anyone's gonna wondering, I'm gonna stop clicking on these things because, yeah, I have my Discord cropped very poorly because I saved it on Discord instead of like a paint file because I'm smart. Let's see, you're not going to be able to see this one, but let's see. I once heard someone get into a minigame with 4v4 versus 1-1-1-1. Oh yeah, that was the part. Yeah. How did you make the minigame so buggy to where you had people have disproportionate fights? You had 4v4s, you had a 3v1, I had a 3v1. We almost lost somehow. Oh, that was a fire truck. Let's see, and this one was from the 29th, an hour ago later. Did Nexon just forget their minigame is still unplayable? Yeah, they actually made an announcement on the official Maplestory Discord. Oh, my bad, I need to scroll down. On the official Maplestory Discord, and they just left it there. Yeah. I don't mind getting, like, you know, teased a little when they, like, put something on an announcement, go like, oh, we're still fixing it. You just left nothing on there for, like, 2-3 days. That was... Like, how hard is it to communicate? Like, I know you guys had the community managers on, like, a short leash due to, like, the previous instances, but you could have at least told them, hey, just, like, every 12 hours, every 24 hours, just say something. 24 hours might be a little bit stretched. 12 hours, I feel like, should have been the minimum. That was dumb. And on the 30th, we had another Reddit post. Yeah, this one, I'm not going to click on it because it gets very weird when the way I have it way cropped. If anyone actually knows how to fix this problem or make it look better, please let me know. Yeah, 12 versus free-for-all. I wish I was in this one. I looked at this one on the Reddit. It was 12 people in individual teams going at it. That would have been awesome. But also kind of bad. This one is nothing. This one's a blank image because it got deleted. And then we got this one. The unscheduled server maintenance thing, it took them 2 days to fix. Yeah, I actually wrote it down because I'm not that stupid apparently. I'm good at logging information. Yeah, and then you got this one. Goodbye event. Oh yeah, this is another complaint I recognized or realized after the fact. The goodbye event and the hit the road event. Why the hell do they not have a claim reminder? Why? Is it because it's a 1-year-old event and it wasn't the norm back then yet? Yeah, for future events, you gotta start including that for every single thing. Because as much as I hate to say that I'm gonna be the one complaining about people sometimes like, oh, I forgot to claim it, I forgot to claim this, I forgot to claim that. It's the reason why I do the infographics for the end of the event claim reminders, because I need to remind myself and I want to help reminding other people. It's part of human nature. People are going to forget. But if you can combat this by just giving us the feature like you did in the past, why didn't you? Yeah. And what is it? This is, what is my game crashes after entering the game? Oh yeah. Unnecessary penalization of the players. I hear a lot of people. It happened to me once. I'm lucky. It happened to me once in 45 games where I went in, instantly crashed, and I got banned from entering for 30 minutes. That's not their fault. That's not their fault. And some people had it happen multiple times. I'm assuming it has something to do with poor internet connection. That should have been something that they thought before and just like got rid of entirely. They should have had there should be a way to detect if you like actually crash and like get disconnected, right? Or like forcibly log yourself out to like, you know, penalize your team or like do whatever. But this should have been this should have been done better. And then you got this. You got Victoria Soccer apology form. Yeah, that's the meme. Oh wait, I can't scroll this down because apparently it is poorly cropped. But let's see. On June 2nd, I took a screenshot of someone saying, so has there been any talk about Cash App transfer event? Yeah. That person posted on June 2nd. Transfer event happens on the 4th. Mind you, they still had time to see it. But it is stupid. You got... Let me look at the calendar real quick. That was... On the 28th they posted, so that was May 29th, 30, 31st, June 1st, June 2nd. They didn't see it for 5 days. There's not a lot of people, okay, there's a lot of people like this, but not everyone is chronically online like me, because I'm a loser. I'm online all the time, so I see this stuff pretty readily, or like either on release or on time or a little bit later. But this person didn't see for 5 days. Can I show you? Yeah, okay. Can I just click and drag this? No, I can't. Yeah, I'm bad at this. But that's the screenshot. It's pretty much just showing that they posted it on the 2nd. This is just further hammering the point on why that was a stupid idea to do. That was dumb. And we have another one. I can't really show you. Can I show you from here? Oh yeah, a little bit. Just went to Legends Return. One player from each team immediately disconnected. Then I disconnected. Game sucks. Teammate was also asked. Anyways, well, yeah. The random disconnections. How can one, you know, it's like Nexon going like, we could fit so many bugs in this thing. Yeah. There's just so many stupid problems with this event. So many dumb things that are on a repeat. But I think another big problem that I'm personally going to have, here's a little bit of a complaint session. The patch notes. The patch notes, the thing that people look forward to almost as much as they look forward to actually playing the event. Because it's information. The people who are not lazy and who actually bother to read it, me, we look forward to it. We like to see, oh, we can do this, we can do that, we can plan around this. This is what I need to budget. This is what I need to do day of. I use it to produce day of to-do lists for everyone on the day of the patch when it releases, so people actually know what to do, including me. Resets, infographics and such. I post it on my stuff, my Patreon, my Twitter, so people can see it. I make it a command on my Discord, on my my Twitch and YouTube, so people can see it. But when the information is inaccurate or just blatantly not there, it is the most dumb BS ever. For example, the Punch King for the event. Oh, there was no freaking reset date placed on there. And the one that was wrong. It was wrong. The first one, for the first half of the event, didn't have a reset date. So I thought, oh, okay, I'm just going to assume it's like the ones from before, where it resetted from the Wednesday to Thursday reset, which is the weekly boss reset. Guess what? It wasn't. I missed 1 week's worth of that because I was scheduling my boss runs with the Punch King and Guild PQ sessions that I usually do. Oh my god! And people are gonna go like, oh, you should have expected it to be on the Tuesday to Wednesday on the weekly event reset. I should have, but you know what would have been better? The consistent trend of including a reset time on the actual thing. I'm gonna close this so I don't get distracted. But holy crap. And then the following problem of the next Punch King. Why the hell is the reset day for the other one, the Legion Pop Challenge, saying that it resets on the Wednesday to Thursday reset, and it's just wrong. I put a PSA on my Twitter post saying, hey, this is the reset schedule for all of the events. Because I do that, so people actually have a nice little picture, because having things in a picture format is always nice to have, in my opinion. I feel like people like it as well. I had to put a PSA, oh, say, sorry guys, the first one is wrong. This one is Tuesday to Wednesday, not Wednesday to Thursday. 3 weeks later, I have to do the next one. PSA number 2. This one's also wrong, because Nexon gave us the wrong day. Who is working on the patch notes? I'm not trying to... Okay, I know it's someone's job to take care of this. I don't know if it's their primary to work on stuff like this, or a secondary that you just get assigned, but my god, have more than one person's set of eyes on this. Hell, hire me, or take me on as a volunteer. I do not mind this. I don't like when information is wrong. I don't like when information is inaccurate. I get really peeved when information is inaccurate just outright. Hire me, don't hire me, volunteer, or at least outsource this to another part of the community. You have a bunch of people that you can trust in the community, especially on your own Discord, so specifically like the volunteer mods. You know that you can trust them at the very least. Or hire someone else. Or hire me. I am a jobless, disabled veteran who can't get a job because apparently you need a degree to be a freaking front desk secretary or front desk person of any fucking thing. But like seriously, you have people in the community who are willing and able to do this. You want to hire people, you want to outsource, you want people to volunteer. Hell, reward them with like 25k annex for like every patch notes that they peer review or quality check. Cause this is stupid. Bro, it's like watching somebody make a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy to the point where it gets so watered down that the only thing original was the concept. And that's it. It's been depreciating in quality ever since. Poor formatting, incorrect wording, missing stuff. Also, why is Maple Siege just better at patch notes than us in general? Like, they have pictures for things that, like, for everything. I'm not complaining. Well, no, screw it. I'm complaining about it. Yeah. Treat us like kids at that point. Give us pictures. Give us a visual. Especially when it's something that kind of really needs a visual. Like the hidden mission. The hidden mission. The one for the Spectreman chair. Yeah. I want to know if a hidden mission reward looks good before I even bother with it. And not to mention, why the hell was this one RNG? Somebody on Reddit said it took them 100+ medals to get. I got lucky. I got mine on like the 85th medal. A hidden mission should not be RNG based. Oh yeah, speaking of the Spectreman thing, how many more events are it going to take you to change the stupid, like, I don't know what sign that is, but it ain't a star. It ain't a level mark. I don't know what the hell that is. You ever gonna fix it? I'm gonna assume on like up front that there's gonna be some sort of language pack error that I don't have installed. I'm hoping it's that. I'm hoping it's my fault. But damn, that's terrible. Oh, and not to mention, there's another part of the event that's on my fucking list of irks. The other hidden mission of the first video that I made, apparently it wasn't even a hidden mission. It was an Easter egg hidden mission. Either I'm blind and I couldn't use Control F properly on the patch notes, but please correct me if I'm wrong, but if I am correct on my remembrance of this, it was just straight up not in the patch notes. Did somebody forget it? Did somebody not do it? Please tell me I'm wrong, because that is stupid. But yeah, once again, I'm probably missing some stuff. Once again, I did this on the fly. I had an idea to do an end of review idea for every event way back then, but I didn't want to just like shit on Nexon for like no explicit reason. But this one was stupid. This one had too many dumb things for me not to go through with this idea. And hell, we got a sort of podcast series now. But yeah, if anyone ever wants to take part in my future end of event reviews, or just want a podcast session with us and something in general, or another content creator wishes to join me on such topics as well, by all means, let me know. The more we complain on valid points, and the louder we make it, hopefully Nexon hears us, and more importantly, listens to us. Make changes. We are both players and customers. Stop shitting on them. Like hell. You gotta stop dropping the ball. Quality's been going down. Afterthoughts are just becoming just that, afterthoughts. Things need to be better. But yeah, once again, to end this video, or to start this first episode off, if anyone has any other ideas or any other things they would like to talk about, leave them in the comments. If anyone wants to take part in future episodes in terms of their submissions, please remember you can follow me on my Twitch, YouTube Live, or my Twitter. They're all in the description. If anyone wants to submit for a survey when I post it again, I'll have them linked there from now on. And hopefully way earlier. Probably at the start of the event, maybe. Week after. Doesn't really depend. And otherwise noted, if there are any other Maplestory content creators who wish to collab on these sessions and make it an actual live session for these podcast videos, by all means, I am open to do that. I need to learn. I need a network. Other than that, guys, I got nothing else to say, nothing else to cover. So, with that being said, thanks for watching and continued support. I'll see you all in the next one. Later.